As a UCLA psychology student, this is what we're taught about how men feel doing no contact.
You just, alright, bitch, you pushing it.
This is what men will chase, a woman who's emotionally detached. They're not gonna want you if you're all over.
Spoil me, spoil me, spoil me. Everything wants to spoil me. It comes times 11, so lucky like 7, receiving my blessings enjoyably. I'm open to it and I'm ready. My mind and my energy steady. Receiving the flood of the blessings that come in like water, the flow is so heavy.
You want to know the #1 reason why a lot of narcissists freak out when you go no contact? And of course, if you're new here, I'm actually a diagnosed narcissist. The #1 reason why they freak out when you go no contact and you cut off contact to them or you start ignoring them is because they think you have someone else. The mind automatically shifts to you having someone else because it cannot be any other reason that makes sense to me. Like, you're not picking my phone up, you block me everywhere, you're not at home when I drive by, whatever is going on inside, like, you're not there, so you must be with someone else. Because I haven't done anything wrong. My mind is justifying my actions and behaviors on a consistent basis. So I haven't done anything wrong, so you must have found someone else, which activates my insecurities, which makes me feel like you're not going to come back. You found someone else that's better than me, so you're not going to come back. I'm imagining you with someone else, so I'm freaking out. That narcissistic person automatically thinks you're with someone else. That's why they'll break through the no contact and be like, hope you're happy, hope you enjoy your life with them. I hope they treat you better than I did. Who is he? Who is she? It just drives me crazy. And the reason behind that is because that's how narcissistic people do. Like, when they leave you alone, they automatically are trying to find somebody else. So they think you're doing the same thing. So stay safe, stay no contact, protect your peace, and document everything.
This is what men will chase, a woman who's emotionally detached. They're not gonna want you if you're all over them all the time. They're always chasing that woman that don't want them. They won't even text them back. They won't even answer the calls. That's who they chase. They're not chasing you because you're too easy.
This is what happens when you go no contact with your man. I'm talking radio silence. You haven't heard from him in weeks. You might have even blocked him. But you can't help think, does this man miss me? Does he think of me? What's going on? What is he feeling? I wish I knew. Aren't you glad that I'm here? Because I'm going to tell you the exact 2 things that are going to happen. 2 things and 2 things only. I'm working with hundreds of women in my coaching, and this is the exact same thing I always tell them as well. And I cannot believe I'm revealing my secrets to you literally for free. But here we go. Option number 1. You have no contact. Radio silence. Nada. 0. And this man all of a sudden is realizing, you know what? She was nice. I was on a date with her. Maybe I was even in a relationship with her. Maybe it was a situationship. Whatever it was, we had something going on. But also, I don't actually miss her that much. Yes, she's beautiful. Yes, there was some level of attraction, some infatuation, some desire and superficial and physical attraction, but it's not that deep. Some level of desire and some level of attraction, but it's not important enough for me to reach out again and reignite the spark. I'd rather lean back, keep an eye out for other options, let the communication and connection fade out by itself by simply not reaching out again. And this is where men go crickets and all of a sudden they disappear and you don't hear from them anymore. That's it. That's option 1. That's when they're just not that interested and they feel, okay, I'm gonna look for somebody else. Option number 2, and you need to remember men are a little bit slower. They need to take a little bit more time. Okay, this doesn't happen instantly. This can happen after a few weeks or a few days, no contact. This is when they realize, man, I miss that woman. What we had was incredible, and only the no contact, the radio silence, makes me realize that I truly miss that person in my life. And she added a lot of value. She made me happy. Our connection is amazing. And sometimes then they're too insecure and they're scared of rejection, so they sometimes don't even reach out again. But between you and me, they're lost because you want a man that is confident enough to fight for you anyway. Moving on. However, sometimes they do feel like they want to reach out, and this is where the ball is in your court and you don't immediately take them back. Let them wait. Let them sit there. Let them guess what your next move is and not being able to predict whatever you're gonna do. And that is how you stay the black cat.
Hello? Hi. You. Yes, you. Yes, you. Don't message him. Don't break the no contact. What are you playing at? You've come all this way and you're telling me that you're going to message him. For what reason? For what reason? Do you not know the bad bitch that you are? Put your phone down, go and read a book, and mind your business.
As a UCLA psychology student, this is what we're taught about how men feel doing no contact. This is exactly what they're thinking, not being able to be in contact with you. Now, there are multiple stages during this phenomenon. The first few weeks of you two not being in contact, they really don't care. That is a sad truth. It does not hit men what has happened until later on. They're most likely not going to be messaging you or contacting people that you guys have mutuals with. There will be pretty much no outreach. However, when it reaches the 3-week mark, they're going to realize that they have not messaged you in such a long time, and they're gonna be wondering, wait, what are they up to? This is when their pride is attacked because they're like, wait, why haven't they messaged me? They're most likely used to people reaching out to them first. They're kind of spoiled. This is when you're going to see them messaging friends that you guys have, mutuals, or they're going to be stalking your social media. You will notice that they're gonna be one of the first few people to see whatever you post. If not that, they're not even gonna see your story at all just to prove a point. They're going to realize that when you haven't reached out by the 3-4 week mark, by the 3 or 4 week mark, they're going to realize that you have moved on, and nothing hurts more than that. Now, this is typically when they will try to reach out to you in whatever capacity. They're going to try to reach out to you about a project or doing something so unrelated to your relationship. Now, if this doesn't happen, they're most likely just going to unfollow you completely and block you and move on. This is because their pride is completely attacked and they actually really want to come back into your life, but they can't do it.
I feel like the science behind how men act like during a breakup or whenever it's like no contact with their ex and shit, I feel like that shit should be studied. And like what I mean by that is like, I feel like men and women, whenever like a breakup occurs or wherever it's no contact, no shit like that, right? I feel like the way that each of us operates, or like men versus women, is so differently. I can't speak for women, but I damn sure can speak on like how men be, right? From what I done seen and basically what I done did. It's like the first like month or two, bro, that always like you be cool. I don't know what it is. It's like such a delayed reaction and shit. It's like you kind of just be like, you know what? All right, cool. Like shit, fuck that shit, bro. Like I'm single, I'm free. You be having that mindset like, yeah, bro, everything cool. This good. I'm good. And then like slowly but surely, like after about like 4-5 months, that's when you be like, damn. Nah, this shit not cool no more. Hold on, bro. It's always like that arc that you hit, bro. Like I swear to God, it happened every time, bro. And I feel like the worst thing you can do whenever some shit like that happen is to immediately jump out there and like hop on the scene again. And they give you that advice that, oh, well, in order to get over somebody, you need to get under somebody or some shit like that. Do not follow that advice. I've tried that shit. It does not work. I've talked about that shit too in another story time, bro. But dead ass found myself crying almost one time, bro. After doing a deed with a chick, she talking about something. Hey, how are you doing? You seem a little down or something. Yeah, I need to get the fuck out of here because I'm thinking about her. So yeah, men act a lot differently after the no contact and shit, bro. And it's so crazy, bro. Like I don't know why the fuck it's like that. And then like from what I heard with women is like at the beginning, like they be hurt as fuck, and then slowly but surely they be cool. You know what I'm saying? They get over that shit after a while, after about 4-5 months, just around the time for you to start feeling that shit. And it's like, that shit is weird, bro. Like, I don't know. And I feel like the science behind that got to be studied. Like, it's got to be a fucking reason why it's like that, for real, for real.
Guys think these things during no contact. In those first stages of no contact, guys are thinking, I'm free, I'm happy. It's like a relief to them, specifically if they are dismissive avoidant or if they're fearful avoidant. But once time starts to go by, they start getting curious. They start thinking, what is she doing? What is she up to? Why hasn't she reached out yet? During this stage, they're also going to try and breadcrumb you. They're going to do little things to try and see if you're still into them, if you've moved on, or even to see if you've blocked them. But during this period, you really have to make sure that you are focusing on yourself. Use that period to become the woman that you desire to be. Work on tapping more into your femininity, work on growing, work on healing. You have to make sure that you don't get caught up in the breadcrumbing and all the little games that they're trying to play during this stage. And if you really use this stage to focus on that healing and becoming more feminine, then the guy will eventually start questioning himself, start questioning his decisions. They may or may not reach out, but even if they are in this confused stage, you have to understand that them being confused doesn't necessarily mean that they want to get back together.
No contact with your ex. I broke no contact with my ex after we've been broken up for 3 months. I broke no contact with my ex 2 days ago. I called him out of the blue. I FaceTimed him. And I just kind of wanted to see what the conversation was going to be like. I wanted to see if there was still any spark, if he still cared. And he had been on my mind for a while. I don't know. He had just started coming onto my mind. And I just wanted to reach out to him. FaceTimed him. He picks up the call. He looks at me like I'm sort of crazy. He wasn't expecting the call, obviously. And the conversation was really short, very awkward, kind of just checked in. And that was that. I had asked him a specific question, kind of alluding to, you know, I like see you checking up on me. Do you miss me? And his response was that he was just curious. Here's me thinking that, oh, you know, he was probably going to tell me, of course, I miss you so much. I care about you. Like, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. Very delusional of me. The conversation ended after that, and I felt very stupid. I felt, you know, I've not felt that stupid in a very long time, but I felt extremely stupid. Honestly, I didn't need that confirmation. I could have gone my entire life without it, but I got it. So if you have a thought, an inclination that you're missing this person so much and you want to reach out, that you want to break contact, this is your sign to not fucking try it. Don't think about it. Do not break no contact with your ex. There's clearly a reason you're no contact. Probably isn't meant to work. Honestly, it's a canon event that some people might have to go through. It might be your canon event, but this, I deserved it. You know what? I don't even blame him for how he responded to me out of the blue. I totally deserved it, you know? Next time, that will teach me a lesson never to break no contact. Because you know, I can just sit here imagining how he texted his friends, like, what the fuck, she called me, like, that was so weird, random. In the group chat, and I'm the topic of the group chat for the day. With that being said, this is your sign. Do not break no contact. You are stronger than that. Have some self-respect, because I didn't. Have some self-respect and watch yourself a show. Go on a dating app, distract yourself, and get a hobby.
Ladies, this is how men feel during no contact. I've spoke with my friends many times about their no contact experiences, and all of the conversations seem to fall into two buckets. The first bucket being, oh, I realized that I didn't like this person that much. I was just infatuated with them, because you go no contact and you kind of forget that they exist, and that's a very clear sign that you were really not that into this person, you were just infatuated with them. The second bucket, and I've had this conversation with many of my friends, is realizing during no contact, wow, I miss this person. You check their social media, you check what they're up to, maybe you block each other and you use a burner account to see what they're up to, but you do really realize, wow, I miss this person. If you don't miss this person, and you don't think about them, and you realize you were just infatuated with them, if they reach out, it's probably best to not respond. But if you miss this person and you realize that they were somebody that's very important to you, if they reach out to you, or maybe you just break no contact and reach out to them, it could be worth exploring to see where things are at.
If you're going no contact with a man and you're wondering what he's thinking, these are the 3 stages of how guys deal with no contact. First off, I get it. No contact is hard. It's difficult. You miss them. There's this yearning and feeling and wondering what they're thinking. Do they still love me? Do they still care? Do I even want them to still love me? Do I even want them to still care? What are they thinking? Where their head's at? I'm saying right now as a dude, the very first stage of no contact is running to whatever distraction you could find. And I'm talking a guy who maybe he's a little immature, maybe hasn't done a whole lot of work on himself, but he's gonna run to distraction. If he's doing no contact, he is so nervous, so freaking out. Why? Because you're a lady and you could get it right when you walk down the street. So that's gonna make him feel insecure. That's gonna make him feel overwhelmed. That's gonna be like, well, she could easily get some from another guy, and that's making me feel insecure because I still care about her and I still have these feelings and all these other things. So I need to go do the same, if not even worse. Mind you, you're probably sitting just eating ice cream watching Bridgerton, but he doesn't know that. He's thinking the worst case scenario, so he's distracting. Second stage is when the party's over. Maybe he started talking to another girl, maybe he immediately went on Tinder, maybe he did whatever to distract himself, and then he realized it wasn't you. Then he realized there's still these emotions there, and I can't just keep distracting myself. What am I gonna do with these feelings? So there's either 2 ways he's gonna go about it. He's either gonna start picking and prodding, start looking at the social, start looking at stories, not say anything, but start picking and prodding. And the final stage is if he actually does something about it. Is he actually gonna DM you? Is he actually gonna text you that I miss you and maybe we should make it work or whatever? Or is he gonna double down, find and hold on to a long-term distraction, which is another woman, or really sit in his accountability and grow? That's up to him, and that's a him thing, not a you thing, not what you deserve thing, but a him thing based on where he's at in his life. And just don't think just because he comes back, that means that he loves you. It could be a moment of weakness, and baby girl, are you a moment of weakness, or are you a beautiful, abundant addition too?
At the end of the day, no matter what he does, realize that the relationship ended for a reason. And if you don't necessarily ask yourself the hard questions and do the deeper healing and even say, does it even serve me to have this dusty potato in my life? Then don't even worry about it. No contact is not a choice. It is the only option there is. And the only reason why we make it a choice is because we're too scared to actually do the real healing. And if you're ready for that journey, dive in and get after it. And if you need help, link in the bio, you can book a free call, learn more about my 8-week bootcamp.
Guys eventually feel this in no contact. At this point, you understand that after your ex feels free, they feel curious, at least as long as you stay in no contact. And if you continue to stay in no contact, they eventually feel confused because Mr. Nonchalant thought you would chase. Let's be honest, you probably did chase, but now you're back in no contact for the 4th time. This time in no contact, you've been growing and healing, which is making no contact easier and allowing your ex to now get to the 4th stage, which is to feel loss in the breakup. Now, you need to understand that even if your ex is nonchalant or avoidant, if your relationship was long or had a deep connection, even though they may not show it, they eventually still feel the loss. Because how guys feel in no contact, whether an avoidant guy or an anxious guy, is going to be the same process you feel during no contact as well. Granted, a guy who's anxious will probably go through these stages quicker. I'm talking within 2 to 3 weeks. Where if your ex was avoidant, this same process could take a couple of months. Again, if you've stayed in no contact long enough, the connection was long and had a deep connection, eventually how guys feel in no contact is regret. See, guys who are avoidant, or just people who are avoidant in general, tend to experience something called the phantom ex. And all that means is that when they feel like you are gone for good, they drop their walls and start to really feel the loss of the breakup, which leads your avoidant ex to begin to think you might have been the one, which is what causes that sense of regret. All this 1 + 1, y'all. Men are thinking this in no contact. Make sure to save this as a reminder. When men are first going through a breakup, especially if they're avoidant, the first thing they're thinking is that I am free. You see, if your ex-partner, boyfriend, ex-husband, etc., is somebody who's dismissive avoidant or fearful avoidant, but primarily dismissive avoidant, then chances are they start to feel a level of being trapped, criticized or attacked, or even suffocated. Now, because of this, when they finally have the space in the breakup that they've always desired, they find themselves relishing in the freedom, but sometimes the grass isn't always greener. See, a lot of avoidant people have actually learned that it's better to rely on themselves than others. They struggle with being emotionally open and usually are pretty highly independent. A lot of times what they don't realize is that in their relationships, they're actually getting emotional needs met. And it's not until they actually perceive their partner is gone for good that they start to realize all the good things their partner brought them, and even sometimes realize the needs that they're now missing out on. Now, if you're in no contact with your avoidant ex, I say all this just to give you some level of certainty, because if you're anxious, certainty is definitely a big need. But rather than just simply focusing on your ex, you need to begin to shift your focus on yourself, healing and working on whatever caused the breakup in the first place, and becoming a more healthy, securely attached version of yourself. That's always going to be the best thing. By the way, it's May 2nd, TikTok.
Things guys are actually thinking about during no contact. Let me put y'all on. So the first thing most guys think about right when you know what I'm saying, maybe y'all block each other, or maybe y'all still have each other added, followed on everything, but you're just going no contact. The first thing what a guy goes through his head is, what is she doing? Now, how can you answer these? I'm going to tell you how to answer these as well. A lot of girls, what they do during no contact is, I've seen it all. I've seen about 3 things, and only one of these actually worked to get this dude back. Like texting first. There was this one girl. She started turning up and going to parties. Was that the one that worked? No. Because y'all don't see it, but dudes, like, y'all think that makes us jealous when it really just makes us like, bet. That's the only way I could put it. Like, not bet. I mean, personally, it would just make me be like, okay, she's just not the one for me. I don't want my kids to be surrounded by somebody who reacts that way. Now, the second thing I have seen a girl do, literally, and this happened to me, is she started spamming her story. Pictures. I know what it's for. She's trying to recruit. Pictures. Goofy quotes of, oh, men don't deserve this love anyway. I think she would average about 1 picture an hour. I'm not gonna lie. Like, posting. She was posting selfies on IG like she was getting paid to put it in her highlights or something. We're cool now, but don't do that. That didn't work either. The only thing I have seen work, and this was never done to me,
but I'm telling you this because this was done to my boy. So this girl went no contact, right? And keep in mind, this is only a 2-week no contact. She started a drop shipping store. That's one of the e-commerce stores I do. That's literally how I bring in 80K within 2 months off one of my e-commerce stores. I'll teach y'all how to do it too. Just DM me e-com after this video on Instagram. But this is what really got him. He went to the gym, right? Keep in mind, he's never been to the gym. And she was there as well. And he called me and told me, bro, this girl's different. I said, why? She's in the gym at the same time as me and she doesn't even know I come here. That shows me what kind of girl she is. I mean, sometimes depending on the gym, but you know what I'm trying to say. But most guys, they be missing y'all during no contact. Just press here, then go to Instagram direct. That'll tell you if he's been stalking your account on a burner account. If he's in like the top 4. Because it connects all your account to one account. And girls, if y'all do want to learn how to do e-commerce so you can bring in 80K month, 80K within 2 months, just give me the word e-com on IG. I got you.
And you know what? Again, be very mindful, those of you who are empaths especially, that you don't start getting a soft spot for him whenever you see his life is going crazy and, you know, he's losing weight and he ain't got no money, he lost his job, his business going, whatever. Be very mindful. You need to be selfish in this season. And selfish season is so much more than just about no contact, but you need to maintain exactly what you've been doing so you can get back up where you need to be. Now, if for whatever reason in the future, God decides to align things where you get to see a whole new version of this man and you want to assess that, cool. But right now, as you are holding no contact, this ain't the time to be empathizing with him. He had his opportunity to access that empathetic version of you and he fumbled her. He got that version of you before and he took her for granted. He got that version of you before and he mistreated her. He changed you from even being able to do that from a safe place. So maintain no contact. That's not you being malicious or mean to him. That's you honoring and protecting yourself. But make no mistake about it. At the end of all of that, you hold no contact with that ex. I know this is going to be surprising to some of y'all because you say, oh, he's in a new relationship. Y'all, these dudes will move on in a new relationship and they'll be using that woman as a pseudo therapist the entire time. Every single day, at least a few times a week, she's sitting there listening to all these sob stories and comforting him about all the things that you did and how bad you were and how you wounded him. And then the moment he has no more use for her, she's out. Because a guy will go and get a new relationship just so he can manage that space of depression and it don't look like he's so depressed because he's trying to hold on to that shred of dignity of perception that he's good without you or he's better without you. But make no mistake, at the end of it all, when that man loses all hope, he's going to be depressed without you. If he was the reason why the relationship failed. If you really showed up as the best version of yourself, you loved him with everything that you could, you gave him chance after chance after chance, and he just thought they was never going to run out. He thought he was a cat, had 9,000 lives. Guess what? You showed him, nope, not over here. And this is why I'm so big on, at some point, you have to stop trying to raise men and fix men and understand that you got one life to live. You got one window of opportunity to find the love that you want and also cultivate that from the inside out, and you don't need to waste it on anybody who had their opportunity. There are men out there who do not need a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th chance, but they need you to be the best version of
You just, alright, bitch, you pushing it. Come on.
The famous no contact. Let's talk about it, ladies. Because the crazy thing is, a lot of dudes actually do this. Like, they know they don't want to be with you, but they still like the process of having you around. So, like, once you go a couple days without texting them, you're like, oh, well, he reached out. He really wants to come back to me and be right. Nah, it's because he was expecting you to reach out. And once you get to the point where you're not reaching out, where you're like, I'm going to let him apply pressure, and you think him reaching out to you was applying pressure, prepare for the remix. But, yeah, in that case, they already know what they're doing. And for most dudes, what y'all don't realize is when they go no contact with y'all, they're not going no contact to you. They're going no contact to better finesse their ways of playing you and to analyze where they went wrong at, how they can manipulate your mind to get you to come back to only do the same thing over again. Because once again, like I say, if that person really wanted to honestly 100% be with you, you would have went no contact in the first place. So I'm not gonna listen.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So what does he think when you go no contact? Well, men don't care. They don't care. At least for the first 3 weeks, they do not care. They actually are excited that they are free. They're able to do whatever they want. They do not care. And that is the time you're probably in your bed crying, thinking, why didn't he love me? Or going out with your friends, drowning in your sorrows, watching Sex in the City, try to figure out how you can cut up your hair and be a new woman. Around this time, he still doesn't care. Just enjoying his life, having a good time. You know, the usual things that men do. But for some odd reason, as soon as you done pick yourself up and say, you know what, I'm a goddess, I should not be crying over a man. I can step outside with something cute on and I will be stopped by any and every man possible. Hell, you don't even have to wear nothing cute. They don't care. They will holler at you regardless, as long as you are a woman. Or sometimes look like a woman. Yes. But this happens every time. As soon as you start feeling better and you have decided you're going to move on, or you've moved on, that's when they come back. They always come back. They always come back. Speaking of, I just received a message from one of my rosters. Of course he came back. After a whole year, after I done moved on. And in my opinion, once a man decided, oh, well, this is no longer working for him, I celebrate because I'm like, oh, great, this is time for me to go and, you know, explore my options. Although I was exploring my options anyway, because if we are not married and we don't have any children, no commitments, you know, I'm a free woman. I can do whatever I want. Not saying that I'm out here just exploring things, but I am exploring things. Yes. So to me, it's a way of saying, okay, well, have fun, have a good life. So then when you start coming back after maybe week 4 or second month, by then you'll be surprised to know that this person that you left a few weeks ago is not the same person. Well, why is that? Because she is free and she could do whatever she wants. She have realized her worth. But men always come back because it takes them a while to process what is going on. It takes them a while to realize, oh, I actually like this person. I actually like the way they are. I actually like this about them. I actually like that about them. But by then, it is too late. For some reason, I think our emotions work differently. Not I think, I know. Women and men's emotions work differently. And when we care, men don't care. And when we don't care, that's when they care. And I like my girlfriends always say, you are so heartless, you are this and you're that. But let me tell you, men love it when you're nasty and heartless. Not necessarily nasty and ghetto and, you know, talking down to them or anything like that. But definitely when you do not care, when you are minding your business and doing whatever you want, it's like they love that. My best friend called me the honey trap. The fly trap, the honey trap. I'm like, girl, I mean, I'm not doing anything different than any other woman. I'm just being myself. The true Scorpio that I am. And, excuse me. And because I know that men always come back, it takes them a while, but they always come back. It doesn't really matter if they are gone out and they're not replying to your messages. You know, you're going crazy the first 2 weeks, which I can't relate because I ain't going crazy over no man, please. All these men in the world, you know, you can step outside and find one. I'm not going crazy over no man. But for the ones who do, when you are going crazy for the first 2 weeks, 2 months, wondering, did this person ever love you or did they ever care about you? Around that time, they are having a good time, good old funky time, and they're not thinking about you. So why waste the energy? And another thing I like to mention too, my life is literally like Taylor Swift. You know how she write a story or music about each man that come into her life? Well, I have a book dedicated, or at least the cover of my books, on Amazon. Look it up, JJENNYFLORES on Amazon. You'll find all my work. But the cover of my books, or the entire book overall, is about breakups in relationship, not necessarily about breakups, but the experience, the energy, the anger, the frustration, the unpleasant emotions that came out of the relationship, I turn it either into some artwork or an actual book. So I transmute the energy instead of going crazy and crying and moping and feeling sad for myself, feeling sorry for myself. Well, I turn it into profit. So I look at it that way. So therefore, it doesn't hurt as bad. You know what I mean? Even if I did had some sort of feeling that could have possibly hurt, it doesn't hurt as bad because I'm making some money off of it. So y'all boys be careful because you might be in my next book. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.